What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today is going to be rebuilding Chelsea with Enzo Maresca's Magic 433 we posted yesterday. Much love for the support on that one. Today we're going to try and win absolutely everything you can possibly win with this Chelsea team across a max of 5 seasons. If you enjoy the rebuilds back home, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are now back streaming on Twitch, so come over and check them out. The link is going to be in the description below. Let's get into the rebuild. So this is going to be Chelsea Insider Football Manager. As we know, a massive team over in England, a really good reputation, good training facilities, good youth facilities as well. Spend quite a fair bit of money, it's got to be said. Quite a fair bobble too. They've actually got a decent team. They just can't seem to really get it clicking. Now, of course, as a club, they have got a rich history. 2 Champions Leagues, 6 Premier Leagues, 1 Club World Championship, 2 European Cups, 8 FA Cups, 2 Super Cups, 2 Europa Leagues, 2 Sky Bet Championships, although they probably don't really care about those, 5 Carabao Cups, 4 England Community Shields, and 2 English Full Members Cups, whatever that is. But at the end of the day, they have won a lot of trophies in their past, and just unfortunate times recently they're not doing as well, but their team is actually really, really good, and of course, we are going to have a little look at that. So as you can see, if we go filter them by the youngest age first, you can already see an array of talent. Hall, Lavia, obviously Hall is obviously going to go to Newcastle, but Lavia, Gusto, Colwell, Fofana, Palmer, Matson, Madueke, we've got Caicedo, we've got Broja. Look at the amount of players we've got before we even get to 25. We've got so many players with so much potential. Obviously, this man being potentially one of the best players in the Premier League last season. Absolutely incredible player. Absolutely incredible to watch. Definitely deserved the England call-up. You got the likes of Lavia, who hopefully I can get playing because he's not really done that since he's been moving. Obviously, another one, Caicedo. Really want to make sure he starts performing because otherwise it's a bit of a waste of how much again? £100 million. So they've got to get the best out of him. You've got Enzo, another player who we need to get playing. £103 million. They spent big and didn't get much of a return, so it's down to me to obviously try and mould these players together, get some results out of the boys. But we are playing in the First Division, the Premier Division, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, and they are predicting a finish of 6th place, which I think is actually quite fair for a Chelsea team. Now, the tactic we're using is going to be Enzo's Chelsea. That is going to be the Enzo Maresca's Magic tactic, filtered by the best 11. This is going to be the team. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that or change a few things. Obviously, over the years, I am going to change the tactic a little bit here and there. I might go to the attacking variant, to the defensive variant. I will update you as I change. But let's get into season number 1 with this team and see what we can do. Starting with the Cups, not the best display in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, as we are going to lose to Tottenham 3-1 in extra time. That is the one team you don't want to lose to. And I'm sorry to any Chelsea fans, but I promise I have redeemed myself in some regard. But we also go out in the quarterfinals against Tottenham in the Carabao Cup. But season 1, we have won the Premier League. That showcases how good this tactic actually is. We've got to win it by 1 point. It wasn't the prettiest season. We did draw 11 games, but we got the job done with Nkunku picking up 25 goals. So we did manage to get past that and not having an all-and-out striker vibe. And to be honest, I might actually not sign one next season. I might try and see how long I can go before I need to spend big on bringing in a Victor Osimhen, like someone like of that sort of caliber, because they're not cheap players to bring in. Now, of course, going over to the goals, we are going to be seeing 28 for Nkunku. Lukaku picked up 28 out on loan, which is absolutely remarkable. 18 for Sterling, 15 for Caicedo. Ziyech had a good season out on loan, but obviously he is going permanently. 9 for Fernandes, Mudryk with 8, 6 for Gallagher. So realistically, Caicedo, Sterling and Nkunku really carrying the bulk load. Good to see Raheem having quite a good season as well. That is very important. I did actually deploy the Enzo Chelsea attacking variant, which obviously you can get over on the Patreon. I did deploy that for this season because I thought it suited the team a little bit better. But really good to see the likes of Nkunku, obviously a player who is incredibly well-rounded, although it has to be said, for some reason is a bit on the downward spiral at the moment, but he's had a very good season regardless. 37 games, a really, really fit player as well. We love to be seeing that. Indeed, a really solid return. And overall, you can argue, you know, we are reliant on 3 players, but for the first season, I'll happily take that and move on because it's a really, really strong sort of start to the season. Sterling also putting up a lot of assists. Reece James staying fit. Caicedo getting assists. It's a really positive start. So despite 2 quarter-final exits, a Premier League win in season 1, I don't think we can really complain about. Now, we are going to have a total budget of 40, maybe a little bit more, 41 million to spend going into the next window. We have got players I want to sell. I will go through those very, very quickly. So the players which I might consider selling are going to include the likes of, let's go through this. So we are going to potentially, these are potential. We've got Madueke, we have got Caicedo, we've got Nicholas Jackson, we've got Mudryk, we've got Gallagher, we have got Shabala, we've got Cucurella. Actually, I want to keep Cucurella because I think it's going to thrive under Enzo Maresca. We've got Disasi, and we have got Lukaku, Kepa, and Hakim Ziyech. So we've got a lot of players that might be leaving. A select few I want gone, like Mudryk, unless he really does start to perform. But let's go into season 2 of the transfers. We need a bit of strengthening sort of all over the gaff, really. So let's go and have a little look. Actually, the last position we don't need. We do not need any more centre-backs for now. First off is going to be Thiago Silva. He is going to depart to Juventus, a world-class defender. Absolute loved having him at Chelsea. What a player he has been. A historic career. Milan, PSG, Chelsea, and also ends it at a very top team in Juve. Now I'm going to offload Brozier because I don't really think he is going to get too much game time for us. He's going to go to Fulham for a total of £18 million. And I did decide to sell Cucurella because in the game he's not actually that good. In real life I think he is going to be really good, but we can get better. We don't really need him, so I'm going to sell him to Newcastle for £29.5 million. And the first player I'm going to bring in is going to be Mika Marmol, coming in from Las Palmas. He's a very versatile defender, can play left back, centre back, and right back. I said I didn't need any centre backs, and that is because he is going to be playing left back to replace Cucurella as a backup to Ben Chilwell, and of course can cover the right hand side. Now he can play centre back, but I've not signed him for that purpose, so I've not broken what I was going to say. He's on £82,000 a week, and he sent me back only £27.5 million. And then I treat myself, and I've gone down the Chelsea path of signing expensive midfield players, and hopefully I'm not going to join the list or make Thuram on that list of players who have flopped in midfield. I'm going to be here to try and fix that. That is going to be Thuram coming in from Nice. He sent me back a total of £65 million, which is a big price tag. Fun fact though, not shy of half of Enzo Fernandez's real life fee, so hopefully he can perform a little bit better. He's incredibly well-rounded, 23 years of age, he's on £110,000 a week. Yes, it's a lot of money, but you are picking up a very, very, very good midfield player. And if we go into the tactics, we are going to filter in the best 11, and it actually locks it in as this. So it is going to be Petrovic, James, Fofana, Badiashile, Chilwell, Fernandez, Thuram, Caicedo, Sterling, Jackson, and Lukaku. Now, what I will say is, in the game, this midfield you don't really beat. It's absolutely incredible. We've got good players on the wings. I mean, Jackson actually looks quite good. In game, he looks phenomenal. Hopefully, I can get a little bit more out of him this season. Lukaku, I'm going to give a chance to. I have got him transfer listed, but I will give him a chance to see what he can do because there's no harm in giving players chances. Now, it is a gamble. It might come back to bite me, but we will see. We are now playing in 2 extra competitions, so the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and that Community Shield, and they are going to be predicting a finish of 6th place again, which, to be fair, I think it's a bit harsh, but let's get into season number 2. Let's see what we can cook up. Did someone say a Champions League final? Well, let me take you to one then, because this is going to be against Liverpool, and we get off to a lively start inside of 20 minutes to make it 1-0 with big Raheem Sterling. Reece James into Enzo, back into Reece James, Becca Howler, as Nkunku is going to make it 2-0 inside of 29 minutes. In the 70th minute now, James, a little bit lucky there with a rebound, as Sterling is going to get it and tuck it in the 75th minute, as Nkunku wraps up the Champions League final in 4-0 fashion. Of course, we also played in that Community Shield start of the season, and we get off to a very good start there. In the 75th minute, we break the ice, as it is going to be Nkunku who does make it 1-0, and it's a bit of a stinker there from Arsenal. Sterling plays it through into Nkunku in the 80th minute to make it 2, and time for one more, the last kick of the game practically, round the new signing, a stinker, as Madueke wraps it up. We are unfortunately going to fail in the Carabao Cup, get to the final, we'll lose on penalties against the mighty City. Unfortunately, we fell backwards in the FA Cup, we're getting knocked out in the 4th round now against Liverpool in 1-0 fashion. And to the Premier League, as you can see, we are not going to maintain the title. You never really do in the second season. It's a little bit challenging, and maybe we might be it might be time to get a striker. Who knows? But we are going to be seeing Nkunku as the top goal scorer again, which does worry me because I think Lukaku might have gone sort of mid-season. He was on the transfer list, so it was my fault if he did. We will get a rough idea by the finances, I think. Let's see that first. We have got 98 million. We've actually got 117, so I've got a feeling someone's left. But yep, I think he is definitely gone. So we are going to be looking at 47 from Nkunku, 25 for Raheem Sterling, Jackson enjoying a good season, Caicedo with 12, Thuram enjoying a very good season, 12 and 12. Assists-wise, we've got 17 for Caicedo, we've got 13 for Enzo, Raheem Sterling again, 25 and 10. The players who, you know, get a little bit of slander in real life are actually really turning up for me, which I do like to see. But I think what we're going to do is, so we can get a bit of a better understanding, I'm actually going to go through the transfers of the players that went out sort of mid-season. So let's go and do that right now. As you can see there, a couple of people coming in. But this is going to be the transfer history then. So if we go down and have a little look, are we going to get any sort of spoilers? You see Datro Fofana there. Kepa goes to Newcastle, which I will show you here, for £7 million. So we are going to offload him, or for 5.25. It can stretch to 7 right there. Anybody else? Any big names in here? Romelu Lukaku, there we go. Goes to Arsenal. That is a real scummy move, that is. He's going to go for £37 million. Obviously, Ziyech went as well. We know that already. Malang Sarr goes to, I believe that's the Saudi League. Anyone else? Datro Fofana, obviously, out on loan. Kepa, Hutchinson, and Jurin. No one really important apart from Kepa and Lukaku are going to be leaving, but that does help us obviously understand a little bit about why we don't have a striker. But of course, if you now go back into the sort of tactics page, I imagine Nkunku will be up there, but I am now going to make the big decision of potentially going out there and spending big on a striker, and I've got one man in mind, and that is the Napoli superstar. So let's go and see if I can lure him into this Chelsea team. Next up, I'm going to be selling the youngster. That is going to be Smith. He is going to be going to Bournemouth for £9 million. I've also made a decision to sell Robert Sanchez. He's going to be moving on to Tottenham. Again, a lot of these players choosing the rivals for £23.5 million, so a £3 million profit. I am going to bring in one of FM's most broken strikers, Victor Osimhen, and a very good player in real life, not just good in the game. He's on £325,000 a week, and he cost me 150 million squids. A big price tag for a big player. 18 finishing, 15 composure, 19 pace, 17 acceleration. Do I need to talk about this guy? I don't really. We know how good he is. He is absolutely ridiculous. For a backup dedicated left back, because obviously Marmo was playing a little bit as centre back now, we are going to bring in Owen Window, coming in from Ajax, just a bit of a backup left back. Nothing too special, incredibly well balanced though. Will do the job for a backup. He sent me back 28 million. It's not too bad for a player who can obviously compete in the highest division, but probably will not be in the first team. And to replace Sanchez, we actually go out and one-up him and bring in Joshdaly, a goalkeeper I love to sign from Valencia on £92,000 a week, and he sent me back only 21 million, which is very cheap for a 24-year-old goalkeeper with a potential of up here. So that is a really, really big signing. And now the team looks a little bit like this. So it is going to be Joshdaly, James Fofana, Marmol just goes right into the team. Chilwell, Fernandes, Thuram, Caicedo, and Nkunku on the left. Obviously, he's got to keep a place in the team because of his performances. Sterling and Osimhen. Now, backline's incredible. Midfield's incredible. Sterling and Nkunku, decent wingers. Osimhen, incredible striker. There's no excuse for this, really. I want to be seeing more and more and more and more trophies. We really should be competing again for the Premier League. Definitely should be winning some of these English Cups now with this team. Competitions, of course, we are going to be playing in the Premier Division, the Club World Championship, the Champions League, the Super Cup, the English FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. A load of cups going on, and they are predicting a finish of 5th place, moved up one ranking. So let's get into the third season. Hopefully we don't finish in 5th place. I honestly am going to predict another 2nd place finish, but another Champions League and 2 other cups. So we're going to start off with the Energy Drink Cup, the Carabao Cup, but we got off to an absolute flyer of a start here with Nkunku into the top left-hand corner in the 30th minute. Marmo builds up from the back into Ben Chilwell, ball deep inside into the starman Victor Osimhen to make it 2-0, to make it 3. Reece James backstick into Fofana, off the bar and in the 50th minute. Enzo slots away a penalty in 75 minutes. They do get a goal back literally in the last kick of the game, but to be honest, it means nothing. Trophy won. We start off the FA Cup very strong. Inside of 29 minutes is going to be none other than Caicedo making it 1-0 against United. Unfortunately, Rasmus Højlund decided to turn up with Mason Mount putting the ball in the box, and it's a simple header and he equalises before half time. But it's Chelsea, the mighty Blues. We come back, 66 minutes played. We are going to go in and win it. 2 English Cups. It's not a final, it's not a win. We get to the semi-finals of the Champions League, but unfortunately we do lose to Inter Milan. They are a good team. I was expecting to win it again. I don't know why. It's quite a big ask. And we actually win the Premier League title, so we did enjoy a ridiculous season, a very strong season, and yes, you can see who picked up the most goals. That is why you spend money, because it does get you results. I mean, we absolutely battered the Premier League, a 15-point gap between us and Man City. We also do in the Super Cup, I forgot to mention, in 6-3 fashion over Sevilla as well. So the only thing we didn't win is the Champions League. Now, I'm going to try and do one more season, I think, because I want to try and do the perfect sweep, and I think we can honestly do it. That is a strong season, though. And I mean, goal scoring wise, you've got 50, 5-0 for Victor Osimhen. This guy is absolutely loving life. We've got 31 for Nkunku, who's not stopped performing. 19 for Sterling. Thuram, not stopped performing. Caicedo, not stopped performing. Fofana, very, very strong. We love to see it. A lot of assists coming in from Ben Chilwell and Reece James, showcasing how important these wing-backs actually are in this tactic. We love to be seeing that. Thuram, a high amount of assists, and Nkunku as well. Mudryk didn't have a bad season out on loan. It's got to be said, he was at Wolves. He did not have a bad season. 34 games, 12 and 13, 7.25. Do we give him another chance? Only time's going to tell. We are going to have a budget for the last season of £114 million. Again, I will say, if you do want to get this tactic and the rebuild file, you can do so by joining the Patreon in the description below and joining the other 4,400 people. Absolute loads of people. I love every single one. You can go over and also win some pretty cool prizes. But I think with this money, we're going to reinvest in the whole team, not just one position. We're maybe going to see who we can pick up for the future. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. I'm going to have one last rundown of exactly who we can potentially offload. Fofana and Mudryk could be key prospects in that regard. But let's get into season 4 of the transfers and see what we can whip up. And I've gone big, and I've gone the Chelsea way, spending money on more midfielders. It is going to be Pedri. I saw him. You can't turn this guy down. 350 grand a week. He looks like an absolute baller. I will say, attribute-wise, I don't think you're going to top him. He's got so many in the yellow. He's got so many in the high blues as well. Obviously, a world-class midfield player at the age of 23, which is why you pay 76 million. And Josh. Installment Daily, they call me. I have brought in Big Kavar to wrap up this team and potentially make it the best team on paper in Europe. It is absolutely nuts now. This guy is ridiculous in the game. He's quick, fantastic on the ball, great first touch, good finishing, good determination, good flair, good technique, good vision, good everything. He's literally completed life. £275,000 a week, and he set me back £30 million. £30 million. Just £30 million. That's what I'm going to tell myself. But the team now looks a little bit like this. So we are going to have him on the left wing. We've got Osimhen up front, Sterling, Pedri, Thuram, Fernandes, James Fofana, Marmo, Chilwell, and Joshdaly. We have got the ultimate team, the banquet, the banker. We have got a serious team and a serious bench. And at this point, if I'm not winning at least a quadruple, I might question myself. So this is a very, very strong team. We are playing in 5 competitions, and I'm going to say it now. I want to win at least 4 of them. And we are going to be predicted a finish of 4th place. That will not be good enough for me. I want to win the Premier League. I want to win the Champions League as a guaranteed 2. The others, I'll take 2 out of the 3. Let's get in to the last season and see what Daily can cook. So starting off with the Carabao Cup final, the Energy Drink Cup final, as we like to call it on this channel, it is going to be Kavar getting off to a very lively start inside of 9 minutes. And you might think you're watching Napoli with a goal scorer, so it's going to be Osimhen going through, pressing from Alisson and getting it back and making it 2. And time for one more inside of 30 minutes to wrap up this cup final. Reece James back in the box into Big Victor. Champions League final, and can you guess who got the winner? You probably couldn't, as it is going to be Conor Gallagher. Community Shield didn't start that promising, as we do actually go 1-0 down inside of 10 minutes. But again, the high press intensity, Pedri into Kavar, absolutely lashes it into the top right-hand corner to equalise, and we win it literally 2 minutes after in 2-1 fashion. Ben Chilwell into Big Osimhen. Unfortunately, we don't maintain a perfect spree with the FA Cup, as it is going to be Brighton knocking us out on penalties, which is incredibly annoying. But what isn't annoying is maintaining the Premier League title. Back-to-back seasons now, Big Victor coming in as top goal scorer, Kavar as 3rd top goal scorer, Ben Chilwell most assists. That is a phenomenal season. As you can see, we've done what I wanted. We have 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4. Potentially the only thing I would have swapped is to win the FA Cup, lose the Community Shield, so we have done the perfect quadruple. But that is still a very, very strong back-to-back seasons. And of course, we've got to look at the goal scorers. So we are going to have 48 for Osimhen, 34 for Kavar, Sterling with 20, 15 for Pedri. Mudryk, again, having quite a good season out on loan. If you are going to carry on this save, I would consider giving him another chance. 12 for Nkunku, Thuram with 9. Assist-wise, 22, 21, 17, 14, 12, 11 and 10. A lot of players getting involved. We love to see that. And I have left you, boys and girls, a fantastic rebuild file you can get your hands on, of course. And please, if you do, send me screenshots of how this team performs next season. I love seeing it. I receive hundreds of bloody pictures, and I love seeing all the different results I'm seeing, all the signings you make, week. Some of the signings are out there, I will say. I saw some guy the other day spend over 270 million on a left back. I will not leak who it is because that is some statement to be made. But overall, I love seeing them. It's absolute jokes. But do you know what? This team, you don't even really need to strengthen. But if you wanted to, you are going to have an additional, well, £84 million to somehow improve this amazing team. So if you have enjoyed today's rebuild, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. I'm never going to do that again, and I'll see you in the next one.